Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is RemovableSanity, and today I'm reviewing Killing Floor 3 on the Series X, developed and published by Tripwire Interactive. So what is Killing Floor 3? Killing Floor 3 is a co-op action horror FPS. The premise is you are a member of the team Nightfall, battling bioengineering hordes created by the megacorp Horzine. The game boasts up to 5 teammates to battle waves of Zeds, to earn dosh, unlock skills and build the ultimate arsenal. Realistic blood effects and slow motion alongside intense combat. First up is accessibility. With regards to accessibility, there is some options available, with accessibility at the forefront of its design. A vast array of visual options alongside button remapping, screen shake, colorblind mode and camera pop. Audio options are the norm, but it still means that more people can really enjoy what this game has to offer. Next is gameplay. Being given time to fully play and engage with a game is something most reviewers do not get. Thankfully, I was able to give such time when reviewing Killing Floor 3, which I do truly appreciate. This is a game that has split the fanbase in two. New users are impressed and thoroughly enjoying themselves, where the old fanbase from the previous titles are not happy with the changes made to the series. This review is going from a newbie's perspective to the franchise, but I will try and address the old fanbase concerns and issues. The main aim of the game is to choose an operative and then face off against waves of Zeds before defeating the final boss. During the fights, you are encouraged to go around the level and grab as much scrap as you can to use once the battle is over. Once the battle is over, you are then returned to the main hub, where, using your scraps and Z parts collected, you will level up your weapons, unlock and upgrade skills, before doing the same process again on a different level or with a different operative. This sounds simple enough, and in reality, it is. The challenge and thrill of the game comes from the difficulty and its co-op design, but the premise is identical regardless of the level or choice of operative. This is also the same when you're battling the waves of Zeds, with each wave allowing you a short respite to quickly purchase more gear and weapon upgrades at the shop, which is found in a variety of locations on each map. This loop then comes full circle with a boss fight, as you try your hardest to kill the beast or beasts and collect the suitable reward. As mentioned earlier, you will start out with preset weapons and gear for each operative. However, any custom builds you have built at the game's hub zone will also be available, but only if you have the cash. From the beginning, you have little to no cash, and with a small preset being given for you at the start, but this does increase with each level. You earn the cash by killing Zeds, which at the end of the wave you then use to refill and choose a higher tier weapon to face the ever increasing numbers. Co-op is highly encouraged here, even to the point where you can share your hard-earned cash with your fellow teammates, which at the higher difficulties is essential that you do. From what I can tell, the higher the difficulty, the more health each Zed has, but I believe the damage they do is still the same, or at very least increased very minorly. Lower tier difficulty, you can pretty much allow yourself to explore with the knowledge your weapons can take most Zeds. At the higher tier, moving an inch away from your teammate means instant death. Keeping close to operatives that heal or can turn on support turrets are a must to ensure you can support your team in wiping out the enemy. Gameplay is tight and engaging, with waves of Zeds coming at you from all corners of the map, and in some instances from locations you wouldn't normally check, like ceilings, ducts and doorways. A great aspect of the game is Z mode, which is activated for all team members when a member hits a certain critical damage threshold. This then activates a slow motion effect, allowing the team to hyper concentrate on thinning the herds of incoming monsters. This is different from the previous iterations, which you'd move normally while Zeds are slowed down. However, when it comes to the operatives, this is where the fanbase starts to split apart. The 6 operatives to choose from each have unique weapons, skill trees and unlockable skins to ensure your build is tailored to you. They are the Engineer, Support, Firebug, Heavy Hitter, Commando, the Tactical, Medic, self-explanatory, Sharpshooter, that's a sniper, and Ninja, the melee class. From the previous titles, it seems we are missing the Gunslinger, Demolitions, SWAT, and the Survivalist class. Though to be fair again, the developers have hinted at these making their way into the game on the game's roadmap. Now, although each class only has 4 tiers of main primary weapons and a unique sidearm, if you do like the weapon that another operative has, you can purchase it and use it. The developers also have announced they are untethering skills and weapon loadouts further to ensure even more customization. Speaking of customization, weapon mods are a big new thing in this sequel, which buffs each weapon's stat. As you play matches, you collect scrap that can be used to build laser sights, muzzle compensators, extended magazines, elemental ammo, and much more. Searching for scrap is easy, it's often found breaking cameras, signs, and general electrical items dotted around the levels. Another nice touch is that each mod can be upgraded a number of times to really spec out the weapons of your choice and provide a substantial buff. Like the weapons mods, the operative skill trees are also full of choice as you gain more experience levels. Similar to the weapon mods, skills can also be upgraded to provide even more buffs and damage. Now there is a lot of operative skins, banners and keychains to unlock for more customization, alongside a monetized battle pass which certain skins you will need to have to unlock. Thankfully though, you can grind in-game to unlock this, so it doesn't feel like a paid-only option. The game is enjoyable and an engaging experience, and does what it says on the tin, with a good player base to ensure that you'll always find someone to play with. Next up, graphics. When it comes to the style of the gameplay, the visuals of this have jumped from previous titles to use the Unreal Engine 5, ensuring that the core and visuals are stylish and slick to look at. With a much more dark future feel, this also has kind of split the fanbase, as the previous titles went for a much more fun approach. Again, from what I can tell, the biggest issue for some is the look of the character models and weapon models being generic, instead of the more stylized versions of Killing Floor 2. For newer players, we are not going to notice or worry about something like that, but from the older fan base, they feel like it has lost its essence. For me, looking at Killing Floor 2, I can see what they are saying, and it does look like the developers tried to open this up to a wider player base by doing so. Now there are 8 maps in the game, from bunkers, cities, secret laboratory bases and urban streets. Again, the complaint here is a reduced number of maps, but from my research, Killing Floor 2 never started out with a large number of maps either. I would say that the maps themselves seem bigger than Killing Floor 2, so this may be the reason why a reduced number has been done. The maps also aren't just big open spaces, they are crammed with a massive variety of traps, interactable items and tactical opportunities depending on your class. For me, I'll never stop turning on one of the many huge fans or molten lava drops that destroy the weaker Zeds in a gruesome way. Turrets are also plentiful if you have the Omni tool to turn them on, and can really help at setting up crunch points in various locations. Combine these with zip lines and vertical travel is equally superb in getting where you want to go and avoid being trapped against a corner. So whilst there may be less maps on offer, what is on offer is better in my opinion. You know what they say, quality over quantity. That said, the only place that really did feel out of place was the huge hub zone that just feels empty and overkill, that a tighter, smaller space could easily achieve the same feeling. What I would like to say is the lighting really does need some work on it, as in general I found the maps to be way too dark for my liking. It's like the contrast is way off in some instances, even with your small flashlight on hand. Seeing your enemies only ever really viable in well lit areas, which is a shame, as I think the general look of each level is great, from the limited view I can see. For me, the bosses are also great, with ones on offer being a bug-like crawler queen that teleports, 3 sword-headed impalers who focus on melee attacks, and the heavily armoured chimera who summon waves of Zeds. Earlier difficulties, these are just a slight challenge, but later ones, these are downright hell on a stick, with entire teams getting fully wiped out in a matter of moments. With regards to the frame rate and smoothness of this game, I saw little in terms of crashing, pop-ins and screen tearing, though again I have seen this mentioned more than once on the PC version. Finally, its sound. Like any brutal first-person shooter game, it's all about the music blasting out combined with the effects to ensure the oomph is just right. From the main menu, you'll get a heavy guitar and bass that is built to ensure aggression. This then transcends into the main maps, and with heavy rock and drums similar to that of the modern Doom, blast out as you take down the many waves of Zeds. The weaponry takes centre stage in the sound department, with ballistic weapons sounding chonky and fire weapons giving that enthusiastic toasty sound. The more futuristic weapons, like the medic's blaster, equally comes off brutal in its own way, and in the midst of battle is a joy to behold. Monster sounds are the best, however, with gargling, distraught animalistic noises echoing through the levels as they make their way towards you. Voice work here in the form of operatives doing a number of one-liners over and over again, which after a while just becomes white noise when you're killing. It's not saying they are bad, but just a bit forgettable. When it comes to storytelling, this however is relayed by your boss within side missions, often asking you to pick up something or find something. However, once they are done, she effectively disappears, which is a shame as the voice actress did a great job in conveying a hard-nosed boss not taking shit from anyone. Fingers crossed she makes another appearance in the future DLC. My recommendation here would be a good quality soundbar to enjoy the big booms of your guns tearing into the flesh of your enemies. And this leads me on to the rating of the game. Now I rate games in order of avoid, on sale, great purchase and must own. My rating for Killing Floor 3 is a great purchase. Now I fully understand the complaints of the older fan base, and from what I can tell, the developers are trying to resolve a lot of those issues. Some, like the style or choice of direction in terms of visuals, will never be resolved, but for the newer players this won't matter. The game is currently priced on Xbox at £34.99 or approximately $40. And depending on your skill and patience would give you about 60 plus hours to completely get all skills for each operative. However, you can easily double that in a bid to unlock every mod and every upgrade in the game. I found this a really fun and engaging wave shooter, and for a newbie of the franchise, I'm in. Has it lost its soul to try and cater to a wider audience? Well, that all depends if you're on the older fan or the newer fan side. The real question here is if the developer will continue to make this the best game they can and address most of what people are saying. And only time can tell on that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I do hope you like this review, and if you do, please like, share and subscribe if you so wish. And if you would like to put some notes or even just a comment in the comment section, I do like reading them. Anyway, have a great time gaming, and I'll see you all again soon.